Jungle.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Aaron Gomez and Keanu, the host of Mashup Movie Talk. So, this is post. Well, is Comic-Con still going on Sunday? It should be done.
I think
by
it's
now.
wrapping up. Yeah, it's basically wrapped up.
Yeah, it's pretty much wrapping up. And today, so we're recording on a Sunday, and nothing really new has popped up from what I was looking so far. But I mean, we wanted to dedicate this episode to the Marvel Phase 4 announcement because, one, it deserves it, and two, there's just so much content for this week on movie news that we don't want to give you just like a one big, possibly 2-hour episode or even longer. So we're actually going to drop another episode Wednesday that will be focusing on the other properties like Terminator, Halloween being talked about, and all those other properties like Watchmen. So today is just dedicated to Phase 4. But to start off, like me and Keanu and I were actually getting dinner, watching the Pacquiao fight last night, and while this was happening, of course, all the Marvel news was getting dropped. So, Keanu, like, what's your experience? I just told you before we started recording, I still feel high, like on this body high from this announcement, and I'm excited. I'm excited what Phase 4 offers.
I'm super pumped. I definitely gotta say they're really they're like geniuses in the fact that like we know their Disney Plus series are gonna we know our Disney Plus series are gonna be basically films. So like they had the half of the announcements were films, half of them were Disney Plus series, and because they have both of those, like that two prong approach, everything is like amped up because you have so much content coming, and then like it's just crazy. Feige is just it's just crazy how smart Feige is. Like they're so damn smart.
Dude, I literally have the chills. Like I'm looking at the picture right now. If you look at the notes, and I'm just like,
yeah.
The fact, like what you said, to add on to that, the fact that you said, they're doing this 2-part process. It's just films and then the streaming service. But like the fact that they consider the streaming service as officially part of Phase 4, that just like shows how much money they're pumping into the content.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like even though this isn't, you're not going to be sitting your ass in a theater, you're still getting movie quality content. It's like maybe across like an 8-episode arc, But I remember before, Comic-Con started, I was like, I don't know, man. I feel like Phase 4 is kind of be underwhelming. Like, I don't really know how they're gonna pick up after Endgame, and then now look what this is. And it's like
and they heard you, and they were like, we gotta put him in his place.
Yeah, we gotta put him in his place and tell Gomez to shut up and just enjoy the ride. And honestly, I mean, let's just start from the beginning. We got Black Widow coming out May 1st, 2020. So before we started this episode, I did some research, the Disney Fox release date, and everything's pretty much lined up with the dates, because I was trying to look if there was any missing dates they didn't talk about, but 2021's all covered, except, 2022, because Phase 4, if you guys should know, it's not that long, like Phase 1, 2, and 3. It's actually only 2 years in length. So remember when you look at that, the Phase 4 schedule, that's within two years, and that's going to be a lot of content. But in the Fox Disney release schedule, including Phase 4, there's a release date for 2/18/2022, which is February, May 6, 2022, and 7/29, 2022. So that's July. But yeah, like it's just there's so much content. Black Widow, I'm actually hyped about it now for some reason, even though I didn't hear much.
I mean, just the fact. I mean, I love David Harbour, so the fact that he's in it. I love Rachel Weisz, so like it's got a super. I mean, Scarlett Johansson's great, So it has a really strong cast. And if it starts pulling into that Winter Soldier spy thriller film, you can't beat that. Like that was, I love that. I love that film. I love everything about it. So if that's what they're doing, and I feel like you and I were pretty upfront in the, a couple months, a couple shows ago, that one of the reasons we were kind of like not that excited about it was because we don't want to see. I'm not interested in a straight up prequel. We know what happens to her. Like a prequel doesn't really. Okay, she was in the like if I want a prequel, I could watch Red Sparrow, which is still a crappy film, but it's still basically the same premise. So I think we were very much like, okay, I don't need a prequel. So the fact that this does take place relatively current. It takes place between Civil War and Infinity War.
Hmm.
That I feel like that is another reason why we're excited, because it gives us a chance to be like, okay, this is a character that we know, we enjoy in the present. What else is going on in the present? It's just one of those things where like you, you do. You want to see what's going on now. Like you don't have that much interest in seeing what's happened in the past, because we already know the outcome of that.
Yeah, you perfectly nailed it. And the thing is, let's think back into, between Civil War, which is confirmed between Civil War and Infinity War. This was confirmed by David Harper, who mentioned it in an interview. We don't know what the hell happened in between then. And it's how much time, has passed? Do you remember between, because they were convicts, and then pretty much they were wanted.
I think.
Was it like 4 years, 5 years? I feel like it was a long time.
Well, Civil War takes place in 2016, doesn't it? Is it 2016?
Yeah,
Or
I
is
would
this?
say that.
Is it?
I feel like they mentioned it in Infinity War. Like it's been a long like blank years. Like I forget the scene. It's when they were talking to General Rhodes and like not General Rhodes. Who's the general in Hulk? Incredible Hulk.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, Ross, General Ross. And I felt like War Machine was talking to Cap and Falcon, and they mentioned it. But like just the fact that we don't know what happened in between then, because they were
And it
on the
makes
run.
sense
Yeah, it makes sense. What were you gonna
because
say?
because with the way Civil War ends, well, it makes sense because what is it? Winter Soldier ends with them outing all of Shield's secrets, right? So like it
Yes,
ends with Black Widow's like history being put out there. So
exactly.
like anything after Winter Soldier, it makes sense that there would be some like shit going down between her and like her past.
Hmm.
So I thought that was a pretty neat detail.
Yeah, like we get to face the facts of the reality of the repercussions that happen with the Shield leak. That'd be really cool. And plus, like, I want this movie to be like John Wick, which I'm expecting, because Black Widow's fighting style is like a lucha libre type of like all grappling and throws, which
Mm-hmm.
is great. And the fact that like they hinted, well, they pretty much said Taskmaster's the evil villain, and they did show some concept art, which looks pretty cool. But like, of course, we got to see it in film.
Yeah.
But like my goal for this movie, personally, I mean, we're gonna see all these movies, and we're gonna see the streaming service. But like, what I want to get from this is, I want this movie to make her death so much more impactful emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
So when
That's
when I rewatch Endgame, I'm gonna be like, God
damn.
damn, like she like sacrificed her life. She's really trying to change her life. Like she. I'm assuming you guys saw Endgame. Like she died because she wanted to, make things right for once instead of doing the wrong thing. So like you like build off what you said with Red Sparrow. Like this is gonna be it, but like the MCU version, it's gonna be in good hands. They got a good female director, like you said, good cast. Add on, David Harbour is Red Guardian. That's his character, and pretty much the best way he said it was like the Soviet version of Captain America. So that's very interesting. Some of the female cast members were saying like, even the clip they showed, like they were referring to each other as sis and sisters and shit like that. So it's kind of like, remember that little preview we got with Age of Ultron? Like I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, like extended for like a 2-hour movie. And I don't know. I just like my mind has been changed, and I'm like, okay, I'm down for this Black Widow movie, and I need a Black Widow hat like everybody else because they all got free hats. But
Yeah, since she has a cool emblem.
yeah, she does, and this has been so due for a while. I don't know what took so long, but I mean, either way, I like how the way things turned out. This phase, like it was gonna happen, but it's better to be late than never.
Yeah, yeah.
But anything else you want to talk about for Black Widow before I move on?
No. Like I mean, just to sum it up, we weren't excited because of the aspect of it being a prequel, but now that we know it has prequel aspects, but also takes place more or less in the modern day MCU, it's exciting to see, and I totally agree. I want it to fill in enough of Black Widow's gaps that when you see her sacrifice herself in Endgame, you go, damn, oh man, I'm
Mm,
now, oh man. So I'm excited for it, and I'm hoping it's very, like you said, John Wick, crazy action scenes, stunt coordination from Civil War, Winter
mm.
Soldier.
Yeah. What do you think about that scene though, the Endgame scene where she died? Because I felt something. I did. But like some people I talked to, they're like, okay, someone die already, because you know how they were just like stopping each other from jumping off the
Yeah,
cliff. I don't know if
yeah.
they're fucked up, but like it's just like I'm just curious of like how you felt when you watched it, because I
I mean,
felt some
I was on the edge of my seat. I was like,
yeah
I mean,
what's
I
gonna happen
knew,
to her.
I knew it was
Yeah.
gonna happen to her between her getting between her getting a film that takes place before the film, so she's safe, like her character's kind of safe, and then Hawkeye also being safe because I knew they wanted to do more with him and with the Disney Plus.
Mhm.
I knew it was her, but I appreciate them going back and forth. I didn't mind it. I thought it was neat.
Yeah, I think the just a flashback to Endgame. Like I think to me that was like the least impactful to me, because obviously Cap and Iron Man were like the
Oh,
mains.
absolutely, yeah,
You
definitely,
know what I mean? But like
yeah,
that's like unfair competition. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah.
those are the two biggest bullets in the gun. So
And they didn't like maybe she had her solo film earlier, we would have been more
we would.
attached. Like you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's why we were attached
exactly.
to them.
Yeah, I'm just curious of like why it didn't happen. You know, like we'll never be behind the scenes like that. But you know, trust in Feige, it's still going hot.
Yeah.
But like just even before we like move on to the next topic, like obviously you can see Phase 4, it doesn't have an Avengers movie, and Feige went on record saying this is about new beginnings, and he just kind of wanted to build up the new characters and you know build off the you know the current ones as well. So that's why like you know Thor is there, Doctor Strange, you know Shang Chi's a new one. WandaVision's getting WandaVision's its own thing, but it's like, you know, current characters just building off of that. But if we go on, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you know, the official logo came out, and that release is in fall 2020 on Disney Plus. So the coolest thing was about the logo is that it showed the Captain America shield front and center.
Right.
You know, Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan both walked out. Mackie had the shield in his hand, and he gave it to Sebastian to hold it, and then he gave it around to other people. So the cool thing was like, it's not confirmed that he's obviously Captain America, but you know it's kind of there. You know, Anthony Mackie even confirmed that he tried the suit already in his
Woo.
house, so that's awesome. And like, I think what the biggest like reveal for that was that we're actually getting Baron Zemo, which is great.
It's wild,
Um,
man.
yeah, because Daniel Bruhl was Zemo, and you know a lot of people didn't like it because you know it didn't flesh out the character it was in the comics. But listen, trust in Feige. The seed was planted, it's growing, and now he's Baron Zemo. And they had a clip where
Purple mask.
Purple Mask. That's
It's
it.
like that's it.
Yeah, that's it. You don't have to say anything. Daniel. It was like a clip of Daniel Bruhl talking to the audience, like, "I'll see you soon," and he throws on a purple mask. And I kind of want to see that because, you know, comics converting to film. I wonder
Don't.
how that's gonna look. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
I think it's fine, but I'm excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it's the primary, you know, first Marvel series to go to Disney Plus. But what are your thoughts on you know all these like news and you know just this coming out flat out with the Captain America shield on the logo?
It's everything that I expected and everything I wanted from a Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like those, like they're tied by Captain America. They're tied by Steve Rogers. And the legacy of Captain America is ingrained in both of them. I definitely, I like that Falcon is now Captain America. I like that. You know, he got the shield, but I also like the idea that they're so intricately tied to they're both so intricately tied to that character that it's like you. Honestly, it's like you and me. Like you know what I'm saying. We became friends through a mutual friend, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
Oh, that's
it's
true.
just
Yeah.
you carry it's neat because you get to see them like deal with that legacy and carry that legacy and become friends of their own and deal with this shit on their own. And
Yeah.
honestly, I think it's probably I'm gonna be honest, it might be my favorite Disney Plus
Agreed.
release. Yeah,
Agreed.
I love Mackie, I love Stan. I thought Bro was fantastic. Like all three of them, I'm so excited to get more of them. I love the actors, I love their characters. I wish it was. I honestly wish it was earlier because I want to see this so bad.
And I'm like, and yeah, I'm just excited for this. I agree too because I am very excited for this, and this is when I'm looking at the list, it is the most, you know, most excited property for Disney Plus, and then second to that is WandaVision for me.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's funny because when we hark back to Civil War and we saw the you know the chemistry between Winter Soldier and Falcon, it took like a couple seconds. You know what I mean? So like the scene with Spider-Man and they were fighting Winter Soldier and Falcon, like that was funny because it was like a buddy cop thing. The scene where Emily Van Camp is kissing Steve Rogers,
Mhm.
and you know Winter Soldier and Falcon are in the car saying, "Yo, can you move your seat?" He's like, "No."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it took like little things like that, and you can easily make this like a '90s like buddy cop film. Well,
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm just gonna call it a
Absolutely.
film. I'm just gonna call it a film.
That's. I mean,
Like
that's basically what it is. It's
yeah,
basically what it
it's an
is.
8 hour movie. I guess it's
The budget is enough. The budget and the fact that it's these film actors. I mean, it and the
it ain't
how much
cheap.
effort. Yeah.
It ain't cheap. It ain't cheap because they didn't release the logistics. But guys, if you haven't heard in the previous episodes, the Mandalorian, which is another Disney Plus show, there was a reported budget of 15 million about 15 million per episode. So like Disney's not running short on these budgets at all because they know it's going to deliver. And obviously, streaming's the future. I think it's the most budget friendly way because you don't really have to do that much marketing.
And they're getting
Um,
they're getting direct money. It's not like the
mhm.
theaters where the theaters get a cut and you have to, what I'm saying, this is going straight into their pocket.
Yeah, it's unbelievable because once November hits, it's like they're gonna have so much money, especially with the price of $6 a month or a
Right, like
year
who's
or a
not going to
month.
subscribe
Yeah,
to
who's
that?
not gonna subscribe? That's like dirt cheap, and I think they could afford it because one, it's Disney, and they already bought Fox, and Star Wars Land's already open. Like they're just they can take the risk. Um, but that's like like that. The fact that it's $6 can reach any demographic of family.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like you got your Netflix, and then you have a family of kids. Disney's the reliable source. Besides, like you don't look at Hulu as a family mecca for
Yeah.
content. But Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm excited. I feel like, I mean, obviously Falcon's gonna be Captain America, but I feel like they're gonna be interchanging the shield.
I
Do you
agree.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like the scene from Civil War, like with Winter Soldier and Cap, like, oh, you throw the shield, I kick him in the nuts. You throw the shield, like that type of DBZ style, like
Yeah, I agree.
interchanging. Um, but yeah, I mean, we have a while. The fact that it's 2020 and 2021, I'm kind of just impatient with all this. And yet again, we have D23. And if you guys don't know what D23 is, it's like Disney's own Comic Con event, and they kind of just talk about their movie releases. I still think there's a lot of properties that they haven't announced because at the end of the panel, Feige did say we didn't have time to talk about, Captain Marvel 2, Black Panther 2, Fantastic Four, and he said we didn't get to talk about mutants. So there's just so much more content that
And Guardians 3.
and Guardians 3. Yeah, we didn't even get to touch on that. So like next property, which is in November 5th, 2020, is the Eternals. And pretty much they had the cast come out, and Angelina Jolie was there, obviously, because she's been a long time talking. But what interested me was that Millie Bobby Brown wasn't there. She did say in an interview that she wasn't like she didn't have awareness that she was like in a Marvel movie, but you know how actors can lie and stuff. But maybe it's down
Yeah.
the line. But like
There's
you
no
said,
Keanu Reeves. I want a Keanu Reeves.
yo, I forgot about that. I did forget about that. Oh yeah, damn. I wonder where Keanu is gonna drop off. See,
You
that
know,
would if they showed Keanu Reeves walk in, that would even top it. You know?
and then he goes, "You're breathtaking."
Yeah.
They
Oh
just
my god.
redo E3.
Yeah, exactly. So he would have Cyberpunk, and now Keanu Reeves dropping the mic at Marvel Studios. Like that'd be ridiculous. But like yet again, we both don't know much about Eternals, and this could be our new Guardians of the Galaxy, like we said before. Um, I can't really say much because
Yeah, and I feel like we've talked so much about it in the past,
it's just
and
like
they didn't.
yeah,
We got the cast, but we didn't get much
any
else. We got
details.
there was one concept art, and it's just like, like the more of the Celestials that we know of. So it's, I mean, it's cool. It's different. I mean, we have to. There's not much to go off of, so it'll be interesting to see what it's
Yeah,
about.
but I just worry about Eternals because I don't know what that's gonna add to the power scale. Because guys, if you don't know it, a little brief talk about the Eternals is pretty much they're like gods and they've been alive for thousands of years. So I'm kind of like wondering if we're gonna go that path. Like we're talking about like immortal beings. Like that's a huge step. That's like another
You can't get much more powerful than Captain Marvel, man. Shit, they had a silent.
yeah, right. Like I'm just like it kind of if they're gonna have characters this strong, how are they gonna match up with the other characters that are like, let's say Hulk or Black Panther, Captain America. Like it's just like how are they even gonna compare in the same league? But Eternals is a mystery to me. It's cool to see an Asian director directing, Chloe Zhao. And, pretty much not much happened, in my opinion, for the panel. And Angelina Jolie just came in saying, hey, I'm really proud to be here. And, like, I'm going to
She
work
said,
10
"Listen,
times
I'm
harder.
Angelina Jolie, baby. That's all you need to know."
That's all you need to know. I have, like, 50 adopted kids, and I'm going to rock this movie. And then there
Yeah,
you go.
exactly.
That's all she did. But, like, you're good to move on, right? Because I don't really have
Yeah,
much to
because
say.
we talked about Eternals before. I mean, there's not much to go off of.
Yeah. So the next
It'd be
one is
interesting.
yeah, it would definitely be interesting. But like the next one is February 12th, 2021. I'm very excited for this.
Yeah.
So Shang Chi, the Legend of the Ten Rings, dude. I told you this. Like, what if Shang Chi was tied to the Mandarin? Because like I read Shang Chi's history, and his dad's like the bad guy. Blah blah blah. I'm like the Mandarin's an Asian guy. We haven't really talked about it, and he's been showing up in cameos like with the tattoos and stuff in like Ant-Man. And it's happening. I was just like, I fucking called it. I called it. Like, I knew it. But, like, how do you feel about that? The fact that if you want to attract people to Shang-Chi, you're going to make it a quote-unquote Iron Man sequel. Like, what do you think about that?
It's hard because like it's such a genius move, and we're so excited for it. But it does, it does get you to a point where like, another Iron Man tie-in. You're like, I can't. It's just like it's just like Far From Home. I can't be mad because it's so genius, but it's at the same time it's like we've got to stop. That well is gonna get dry. It's basically as is dry. Like we can't get much more out of it. You gotta kind of step off the Iron Man train.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement, and it's funny because
so smart you can't get mad.
I can't get mad either, and I'm like everything you said I agree with because Shang-Chi you think martial artists, but like what's this gonna add to the universe? Oh, the Ten Rings. So you mean the group that got Tony Stark, and who's doing arms trades behind the scenes. So like this just adds to the MCU by connecting even more of the story. Like, I feel like if we watch this film, we're going to get a Far From Home moment where it's like, oh, it's connected to this Iron Man 1, like, or it's connected to this movie.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, definitely.
We're going to be wowed. But, I don't know, I'm very excited, and they didn't really have, like, new people. Well, the new person, they didn't announce who the Mandarin's going to be played by, but they did cast Shang-Chi, which is Simu Liu. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he looks like a cool guy. I mean, have you seen his interview, like at the panel?
I didn't see his interview. No, but they did. I think they did say who was playing Mandarin.
Yeah, I forget. I didn't have his name on me.
I'll look it up real quick.
But yeah, Shang-Chi was casted, and yeah, you got to watch the panel. Like he's charismatic. He's kind of like Tony Stark. Like he has that attitude, and he's likable. That's the point.
That's good.
But what the crazy part was this: when he was on the mic, he was like, this is unbelievable, blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't believe I'm up here right now because he casted for he applied for the role on Sunday and was casted on Tuesday.
That's wild.
Can you imagine, like, how fast of a change that was for him to be like, oh, nice job, like, you got the job, come to Comic-Con, where it's, like, kind of intimidating when you have, like, 70,000 people in front of you and you're carrying this franchise. But I think it's such a great move because it's really tying the roots and the knots together with the Marvel Universe. You think like Shang-Chi's gonna have like some sort of superpower? Because I gotta like see how he matches up with everyone else. Because he's in the comics, he doesn't have powers.
Some sort of like I'm sure they'll give him like a small like boost in the fact that like he'll have some mystical something or other.
Yeah, whatever. I feel like they have a right to change it up because first off, he's not a big character. I don't think he's had. From what I recall, like he doesn't had like a recent rerun on comics, but
yeah, I don't think so either.
I'm interested. Yeah, I was gonna ask you like, have you seen like any runs on him? Because I don't think we've had anything. Like he was big in the '70s, and that's about it. That's his prime time.
The only thing I remember, the biggest thing I remember is which we talked about before, after Spider Island or after whatever when Peter lost his Peter tingle and he had a train.
Yeah. Okay. So besides that. I'm excited for it, and they actually casted Awkwafina, who's actually in the movie now, which is great because I pretty much said this is going to be the fucking Crazy Rich Asians of violence. So I'm excited for that. Like, why not? Like, we already had Crazy Rich Asians. Let's get another one, but we need to get Keanu a film that represents him. Marvel, like, step it up.
Come on, man, give me something.
Yeah, just step it up. But I mean, I got nothing else to say about Shang-Chi. I'm just excited. Especially like the fact that we got the real Mandarin. Because the Iron Man 3 was like a controversy because of Mandarin, especially, and like All Hail the King, the skit was pretty cool, and they did reference like the real Mandarin. But it took like when did Iron Man 3 come out? Let's see.
Yeah, it's just crazy that a one shot set this up. Like a one shot revealed that the Mandarin was real and like set it up for him to be a player in the MCU later on.
Yeah, Iron Man 3 came out in 2013. So
It's
that's
wild.
six years ago. Holy crap. And it's funny because Iron Man 3 on Rotten Tomatoes have a 79% and a 62% Metacritic. So that's a shame. Um, Whatever. It's Shane Black. I thought he would do better, but it just didn't feel like Iron Man. But anyways, Shang-Chi, Keanu, any like final thoughts on that?
I am excited. I want to know if like is Mandarin gonna have the 10 rings? Is he gonna have like that crazy ass,
The
every ring having,
powers.
yeah, like that's gonna be
Yeah.
crazy if that's the case.
That's the thing. Like, are they going to have magic like Fing Fang Foom, like the dragon and stuff? Like, I need to see like something like concept art. Like, I don't know. There's so much. Okay, they released a lot with Marvel Phase 4, but they still at the same time didn't tell us a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And remember, this is 2020, 2021 timing. So this film's gonna be released in 2021. It just sucks because you're not gonna see Iron Man matched up with the Mandarin, which was his real villain. But it still works. You know what I mean? Like the MCU is different. We got past that, but I'm okay with Mandarin not facing Iron Man. But how is this tied to the bigger picture? We'll see. We'll find out. But spring 2021, Disney Plus is having Wanda Vision, which I said earlier. This is like my second most anticipated Disney streaming service film. I'll say film because I heard it's really weird. That's what everyone's saying. Like it's
That's
just
what they, yeah,
weird.
they said that they were like, yo, we're gonna get real weird in here.
Yeah, like really weird. And I'm like, okay, it's new. And the coolest thing I heard from like articles that WandaVision, this is jumping ahead, but like whatever. WandaVision leaks into Doctor Strange, the sequel. So,
Ah, that's dope.
which is like it's so see it's an incentive for people to watch Disney Plus. Do you know what I mean? Like you're gonna have our money. So they said that like you need to watch WandaVision to get not to get it, but like it continue that
It'll have a payoff.
yeah, it'll end in a way that it leaks into Doctor Strange, into the multiverse of madness. So that's perfect. And I don't know if I was talking to you a long time ago. Actually, well, I'll save that. But yeah, WandaVision's supposed to be weird, and she's gonna be like we're gonna find out why they call her the Scarlet Witch, and they never referenced her as the Scarlet Witch. Like they mentioned like the witch like once in like Age of Ultron, and that's about it. But like, what are your thoughts on WandaVision? Because I'm really pumped, man. Like I don't know what it is, but whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm so pumped, and I love Elizabeth Olsen. I think she does a great job with the character. The Vision is a cool character, and the the series sounds really cool. I love Doom Patrol. I love anything that's out there. I love anything that's a good show, and they get weird, but they do it for the right reason, like, and they do it the right way. So because of that, I'm super pumped to see this, and I'm also, as a designer, there's certain aesthetic aspects that I really enjoy, and there's a rumor, and the logo kind of matches it, that WandaVision is going to kind of get like 1950s, 1960s, like with, I don't know if it's surreal, like getting in Wanda's head or Vision's head, and it's going to create like a little like time warp to that time period. But I mean, I love that aesthetic, so I'm if it's anything close to it, I'll be very happy watching it. And I think it's beyond cool to like watch, if we watch WandaVision, and because it comes out spring 2021, and as we're about to get into Doctor Strange comes out 2021 spring, it'll be really cool if you watch WandaVision and like it literally just is like, oh, all right, now we got to go see Doctor Strange. It's going hand in hand.
Yeah, watch it before a Thursday night screening. That'd be like
Even
awesome.
the red of like the logo kind
They're
of like
similar.
yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, because like we never. I've been saying this like after Endgame, Scarlet Witch can kick ass. Like she can
Oh my gosh, yeah.
single handedly kick the shit out of Thanos, and in the comics she's so strong. with like House of M. She's so strong, and we didn't really touch her hexes and chaos magic. So it's like she needs her justice because like I know as we're trying to focus on Captain Marvel, you know, but Wanda was there.
She was like the OG, like power train,
Yeah, she was OG,
female power train.
and yeah, and we didn't get her attention on like really on Ultron. She was kind of like a side character, and along with Pietro. But like it's great that we're seeing Widow get their attention, and also Wanda. Like finally, like now we instead of like hey guys, like sorry we didn't have a Wanda movie, but like here's a whole season of like movie quality content for her.
Right.
And like, but like when I hear Wanda Vision, I know Vision's gonna be in it, but like, what if the title's misleading? It's like actual like Wanda's Vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like what you said, like a different reality. Like, because when I see that, I think of like Inception, like where she doesn't know her reality, that she's in another like universe in her mind. Like adding off of you, like she doesn't know what's real. Because what if we tap into the Vision comic where it's like Vision's family, like she's in an alternate reality that she made that she like. Maybe some look like they're pretty overt and they're like, okay, this is not my reality. But then there's like another reality, like it's so similar, but like she's probably like in Inception, like in a dream within a dream. She's kind of like, oh my god, is this real? That'd be so crazy.
That's dope. I want it.
That's what I wanted. And plus, like the fact that, so we'll talk about WandaVision and Doctor Strange in hand. Like we'll start to bleed into that. Doctor Strange is gonna have Wanda in it, and I've said this before. Like we need to have Scarlet Witch team up with Doctor Strange because one, it would help the movie like in general, and two, like they're both magic users. Like so, Wanda's kind of been like using magic without practice, and if she can like harness it and Doctor Strange teaches her, boom, there you go. Like this is the MCU. Let the characters work in each other's films, and especially like a character that's Scarlet Witch, like who's a smaller character. Unfortunately, we can give her justice. But yeah, let's like talk about Doctor Strange. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because they said it's the first horror.
I love it. I want it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of horror. I'm a huge fan of gothic literature, gothic romance, gothic architecture. So the fact that this film is gonna get real freaky, I'm like, yeah, sign me up. I want to see him go to like an alternate universe and just like get mind melded and like the psychedelics from the first film. It's like just sign me the hell up.
Yeah, I'm excited because one, Scott Derrickson's coming back, and two, I just want them to expand on that world because I feel like Doctor Strange in the first one, it was an okay film. I felt like it was just so limited because it was like his powers were weak because obviously it's an origin story.
Yeah.
But now that he's like mastered it, we can get into nitty gritty. And I heard Nightmare for a long time was going to be the villain. It's funny because Mysterio, he's talking about the multiverse, and the multiverse is brought up again.
This time for real.
Like for real, faux real, and I'm excited because if we delve into the multiverse, imagine the cameos that we could get, possibly, like potentially. Like that could be ridiculous, and it could be a cameo for like other Marvel properties that we wouldn't even consider. But the thing that stood out the most was the horror aspect, because I don't know if I misheard this like a long time ago. Before Doctor Strange was coming into production, I felt like they said that they were going to do it a horror inspired.
They did, because Scott is originally a horror film director. You remember that correctly. They did say that he was going to try to put that spin on it.
Yeah, so I kind of like won't. This is me right now. I don't believe it till I see it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they did. Okay, so yeah, the fact that you helped, agree with my statement and that I'm not crazy, I didn't mishear it. I need to see it, because when I look at Doctor Strange, the first film, it wasn't horror. There's just magic.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yet again, if they're gonna go a horror route and keep it PG-13, I'm thinking like a Conjuring type of horror film. I would love that if they went balls out, like Conjuring, scary, but with action scenes. Oh my god, you would honestly would bring so much flavor to the MCU. Like you would be so distinct, like the political thriller of Winter Soldier. Like this would be definitive for it to be in the magic scene and horror scene that New Mutants wouldn't take up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But they already said they're gonna have some of that humor too. So I'm like, who knows?
It doesn't need it. It doesn't need it. I don't get it. I told you this at the restaurant yesterday. I was like, Guardians messed it up for everyone. In a way, because everyone's trying to do that James Gunn humor. You know what I mean? Like, I know
Yeah, absolutely.
Tony Stark had it. He had it. I agree. Like, Favreau had that humor, blah blah blah. But that's what made Iron Man special. But now that like Guardians happened, it kind of bled into every property. Like Thor has it. Spider-Man obviously has it. Like, it's just, I feel like Marvel's kind of losing their identity with some stuff, and it feels repetitive. But hearing this news is giving me hope. But I still have to see how every film turns out. Because I was okay. So when Black Panther came out, I didn't like Black Panther. I don't know. It was kind of weird. It was okay. Thought it was a little too hyped for its own like good. And I thought the trailer was better than Black Panther because they were hyping it up to be like hip hop based, like serious, and Kendrick Lamar in it. And like the scene where he's using his kinetic energy in the car scene, the car chase scene on the bridge.
Yeah.
And it looked awesome. And it had like, Run the Jewels playing the music in the background. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be so badass. But then when I watched the movie, it's like MCU music. And I'm like, it's so cheesy. Like, something doesn't fit. But like, I mean, do you agree with me? Like what I'm trying to say? Because I kind of feel like it's kind of plateauing in like theme wise, where like they're trying to like bleed into each other with the comedy and they need to tone it down and be distinct.
Yeah, I mean, the MCU has always been known for its humor, and I mean, it's always worked, but at the same time, like you're on Phase 4. I'm not saying you don't have to have. I don't have to say you have to be Justice League dark, but like Man of Steel dark, but you've got to give us some content that's like okay, like this is like some like I don't know, like I enjoy like they're all like every actor's so naturally charismatic that you can't like when they tell a joke you can't help but like it. But at the same time, I want something totally different. I want something totally and tonally different. I want something that's going to be like okay, like that was some serious stuff that went down. Like this was some high, like because even I love Endgame, I love Infinity War, but because you love those characters and those characters love each other, the banter naturally happens. Like you can't even not write the banter. It's going to naturally happen. So I can't directly fault them for that. But now, since you have these single films where you don't have these like 5 or 6 characters who always joke around with each other, who always know each other, you have the opportunity to give us a film that is tonally different and gives us like that, at the edge of our seat, what's going to happen next. This is some serious stuff going down.
Yeah, I think what makes the Avengers so like okay, so let's think of the OG Avengers, like the core, the 4, minus Black Widow and Hawkeye. They're so great because they're so different. You have a super soldier, you have a billionaire genius, and you have a raging monster, and you have a god. Like, I was playing Ultimate Alliance today, and I played with the OG Avengers. I'm like, they're so good because they're so different, and that diversity is key. But like, just that Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man humor, it's good, but like, keep it for Guardians so it keeps that flavor fresh, and then keep it for Iron Man if you were to quote unquote come back or something. You know what I mean? Make it unique for that. Like, I'm kind of hoping like Shang Chi isn't like a comedy. I hope it's like serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they did that like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon movie with like comedy, I'm like that doesn't work
appeal to
right.
me.
Yeah, it doesn't appeal to people. And it's like if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Like Black Widow, I see that being serious. Like
Yeah, I can't see it not being. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I can't see that. How could you? That like the character has never been super jokey. Her history is a serious history. She was brainwashed and crap. Taskmaster, the guy has a freaking scoffer. Like, this is all pretty edgy stuff. So I mean, if they insert that humor in there, it's gonna feel out of place. I think so, at least.
Yeah, it is gonna feel out of place. And like, okay, so I'm looking at the schedule. Even though there's some properties we haven't talked about yet, I only think the humor should belong to Thor, a little bit to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that's about it. I mean, maybe in the What If, but that's different.
Like an episode or two.
Yeah.
Oh, Hawkeye too.
Yeah, I could see a little bit in there with. We'll get to it, but yeah, I can see a little bit in there. So those 3, like that's it.
Yeah.
That's where the humor should be, and I think we need it now because. It's if you really want to set the tone and make the Phase 4 stand out without an Avengers film, like you need to really like stick to your guns and be like bold. Um, I hope Eternals isn't Guardians. I want it to be new. And I guess like this is gonna be like the answer for the Inhumans. So it's kind of a shame because like the release date for the Inhumans kind of passed like a couple of weeks ago or a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And it should have happened, but it didn't.
Yeah, it's a shame that they should have made the film, man. I think it would have been a really interesting film. It's a shame it didn't happen.
I think we needed. It would have been cool. Honestly, it would have been really cool. And hold on, someone's calling me on Facebook.
Who that?
It's my aunt. I'll edit it out, but
I didn't hear it.
Oh, okay, it's weird. She tried to Facebook call me, but anyways,
she wants to talk to you about Phase 4.
No, she doesn't want to talk about Phase 4. I'm not even gonna edit that out, but I'm just be like, nah, sorry, aunt, if you're gonna listen to this, but I really doubt it. Doctor Strange, cool. Let's make it Conjuring, but with action. Like that'd be so cool. Like let's scare some kids. Like because the kid.
Let's scare some damn.
Let's
kids.
scare some kids. Seriously, think about it. Phase 1, Iron Man. If you're a kid and you're watching it, you're an adult now. You're 18. You know what I mean?
You're a grown ass kid.
Like as much as you want to cater to kids, like you can. There's a big chunk of your audience that is 18 and over, or 16 and over. You know what I mean? There's still kids that are 12 and 13 watching, radar, like older adult content. Because streaming, Stranger Things is a hit, and it's not PG-13. If you think about it.
Yeah, this last season, man, that body horror, that David Cronenberg's The Fly, like that shit.
Yeah,
it
was literally the Thing, and with like, it was literally like the Thing and like The Fly in the hospital. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But like that's the thing, it's changing the landscape, and I think that like Marvel should consider like, hey, our audience is it's mainly like you're supposed to cater to your kids because this is quote unquote kid stuff, or which I don't think it is, but they should really adapt to their demographic of the older crowd. But moving on, spring 2021, Disney Plus, Loki. It's going to be following the Loki that took the Tesseract. Not much was said. I'm excited. But it's like it's kind of the Loki from Avengers 1, so like how fresh and like different of an attitude and look out in life he has. I wonder how it's going to turn out. Like, does he run into Cap? Because remember, Cap needs to get all the stones back.
Mm-hmm.
Or, he has to return them. Like, I can't really say much on this either. Like I said, Marvel showed so much at the same time they didn't. Tom Hiddleston was like obviously there at the panel. A bunch of people were there actually. But Keanu, like, what do you want to add to like Loki 2021 coming in Disney Plus?
I'm apprehensive just because I love Loki. I love Tom Hiddleston, but the fact that this is like Loki from the Avengers, I like one of the reasons I really like Loki is because he finally started to have some character development. Like he was stunted for a little bit where he kept like acting like he was gonna help out and then just kept being a douche. And like I really like, I mean, and I know that's his character, like his character in the comics and his history, but I just liked that he had an actual character arc. Like he was annoying. He was like he kept being the annoying stepbrother. He was rude. He was a villain, and he slowly redeemed himself. And so like for us to go back to that, like is he gonna are we gonna see him go through that transformation again in his own way or are we just gonna see him be a villain the whole time? Like I don't know. Like I love the character. I love the actor. So of course I'm gonna watch it. Like you said, we watch everything, but I'm a little apprehensive because I want to see what how they're gonna do it, how they're gonna do. It is really interesting because it's gonna take place in a splinter timeline. So like that's gonna be super interesting. But I also hope that it's not just more of like of old Loki because we've had enough of old Loki.
I'm just curious of like how Marvel's going to carry on its future because you're not only talking about one timeline, you're talking about multiple timelines. You know what I mean? The potential is unlimited.
Yeah.
Like obviously you can you can say like the Fantastic Four or Xmen are in a different universe, or you can say like you can do a Miles Morales incarnation that's live action easily. Just because of Endgame started so much. But like I want to ask you this, like, so out of all the Disney Plus streaming services, like what's your order from your least favorite to your most anticipated show or movie you're looking forward to? Because okay, I'll read it off again: Falcon, Winter Soldier, Wanda Vision, What If, Loki, and Hawkeye.
So it goes the Falcon, Winter Soldier,
Mm-hmm. It's tough.
Hawkeye,
Mm-hmm.
Wanda Vision, Loki, What If. And Hawkeye and WandaVision are like neck and neck, and the only reason I'm choosing Hawkeye is because two reasons. One, we're gonna get Elizabeth Olsen and Doctor Strange, so can get my fix there. And two, I love Jeremy Renner. I think he's a great actor. I think he does a phenomenal job of Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye is a completely underrated character.
Underrated. Yeah.
And then like the fact that I have to read it, but like like the logo's from Matt Fraction's run, and
From the
it has
comic books.
It has Kate Bishop, and like I heard phenomenal things about that run,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's like yeah, like that. I love Lethal Weapon. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. So like Winter Soldier, the reason for the Falcon Winter Soldier is number one is because I love that buddy cop aspect. I love the actors. And so similarly in Hawkeye, I love Jeremy Renner, and whoever they chose Kate Bishop, I'm just gonna trust Marvel, and so I'm sure they have a great dynamic, and I love that. So Hawkeye just barely makes it over WandaVision because of that fact, and then I already told you about Loki, and then that just leaves What If, and it's not that I'm not excited. It's an animated series, so it's always gonna be a little bit less,
Yeah, I think I'm like
exciting.
similar. I'm similar to you, but I have WandaVision as second, and then Hawkeye, and then Loki. Because yet again, I didn't read that run of Hawkeye, but I hear all I hear is good things about Kate Bishop and like how they're pass the torch of everything. And it was cool because the logo is based on it was literally when I told you, I was like, I saw it, I'm like, yo, that's literally the comic book, like that, the logo. But if we move on to What If, which is coming summer 2021, I'm very excited for that because they have Jeffrey Wright from
I love Jeffrey Wright.
Westworld.
I know I keep saying that about actors, but I have
he's
it just so happens that MCU has a lot of my favorite actors. Like
they have top tier.
Yeah.
It's so I on the mashup on Life Talk, I had a writer from THR and Marvel and Sci-Fi, and he said that he tweeted like, "Yo, if the What If isn't hosted by Watu the Watcher, it's a missed opportunity." And I'm like, "Oh my God, you're so right!" And now it's happening.
They were like, "Nah, we're not missing the opportunity."
Yeah, they listened, and now they casted Watu as Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright as Watu, which is the best thing I could think of. And if you look at the logo real closely, you know how these nerds nitpick this stuff. AKA, we're all nerds. If you see the logo, you really zoom in on it. You see like Red Skull wearing the Captain America outfit, which is like, oh man,
shit, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But like way back, they did announce that they're gonna their initial episode is gonna be about Peggy Carter becoming Captain America. This is old news. That's why I got to watch Movie Talk every week to keep on track. But yeah, I'm very excited with this, especially it's animated, and the fact that they're getting a lot of the voice actors coming back, like Michael B. Jordan. So like, what if we had like Michael B. Jordan Killmonger beating Black Panther?
Yeah, I think that might be one of them, to be honest.
Yeah, and then the thing you showed me today. So you take it away because this is like what you found.
So in that same logo where you talked about seeing Red Skull, you can see a Captain America zombie from Marvel Zombies. Zombies.
Oh shit! Are we gonna get a Marvel Zombies? That's gonna be intense. Oh man, I can't like the potential for this is unlimited. I keep saying that because like with the multiverse involved, yeah, you can do anything you want. What if I'm kind of curious how they're gonna do it, like the art style? Because what if it's like, is it like an anthology type of show, like Love, Death, and Robots, where it's like different art styles in every episode? That would be cool. It would be cool. It keeps it fresh then. Like you can get a 3D animated like Final Fantasy movie version, and then like get a cartoon 2D animation. Like that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
So much secrecy in it, but the fact that they're considering an animated property as Phase 4,
that's wild.
It's serious. They mean business. You know what I mean? Like this ain't just like a regular show that's just gonna show up and it's like, oh, Marvel Studios is posted up on it. No, this is part of Phase 4. Everybody, like, listen up and like tune in. But yeah, like I don't know. There's just if they teased the Marvel Zombies, that'd be crazy. Or like if they teased. I don't know if they're going to do this, but like imagine they did like Deadpool kills the MCU or like Punisher kills the MCU, like the comic book runs. That'd be awesome. And I'm gonna say like little spoiler. Like if you haven't seen Far From Home, we got our Marvel Zombies cameo when Mysterio was pretty much fucking up Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like that was a good, head nod to Marvel Zombies because it was legit like the style of Iron Man. So like we'll move on. Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. We talked about this, and Jeremy Renner is very underrated. And I think Hawkeye is very underrated. I'm excited. It's just I'm curious because I don't know a lot about Hawkeye's run. And you said you didn't really read the Kate Bishop run, but like it's good because we're coming in with fresh eyes and ears.
We forgot to say Monica, the adult Monica Rambeau is in WandaVision.
WandaVision, yeah. That's true.
So
yes,
that's the kid from Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she's gonna be adult, so this is gonna be post Endgame. So guys, we're referencing back to WandaVision because we kind of just went past it. Monica Rambeau, aka she's from Captain Marvel. She was a young girl. Remember, Captain Marvel was in the 90s. She's an adult now, and it's going to take place post-Endgame. I don't know. Do you think she's going to be superpowered?
Not yet, but I can see her starting to get it over the course of WandaVision because WandaVision gets so damn freaky.
Yeah, I'm thinking you think it's going to be like quantum realm powered, or is it going to be cosmic? Because I feel like if she's going to get it, it might be like some sort of multiverse.
I think it'll be like some multiverse type stuff.
That'd be cool. It'd be a new spin on her. I kind of noticed this new trend, and anyways, actually, before I move on, do you want to talk about anything on Hawkeye real quick?
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like I kind of went into it with my list, but it's Jeremy Renner passing the torch on to Kate Bishop. Mm-hmm. It's based on Matt Fraction's run, and they showed a quick little animation for the logo, and it was kind of like James Bond-esque when he walks in and shoots the bullet into the hole or whatever, that the iconic intro, and so it's definitely gonna be kind of like a spy-ish type James Bond thriller or James Bond type atmosphere, and I think that's really cool. And it's also cool because even though it's not a film, now every Avenger has their own property. Like Black Widow has her film, Hawkeye has a show that's basically a film. Every OG Avenger now has their own little corner to be like, listen, this is their story. This is just their story. So that's that for that.
And it's not just a film. It's just even though they got one property, it's going to be like 8 hours. Let's say.
Yeah, it's basically a film. Like that. It's basically a long film.
Yeah, it's pretty. I just got your text messages, but yeah, it's just a long film. And I forgot to say about Hawkeye. They pretty much said they're going to get into the nitty gritty of him being Ronin. Yeah. So I was assuming Hawkeye was going to be post Endgame, but maybe they touch up on Ronin, like the 5 years time span.
I could definitely see him having flash, while he's talking, kind of with Daredevil. I could see him training Kate Bishop, and when he's talking to her, it flashes back to his time as Ronin, and he's like, I've done things, and then it'll be a full episode, bottle episode showing his time as Ronin or something.
Well, let's be honest, we didn't get a lot of Ronin in Endgame.
Yeah,
you didn't even see his mask. You saw the back of his head.
He was Ronin for 2 seconds.
Yeah, you only see Ronin in the products, in the toys, and Funkos, and that's about it. And it was kind of a lost opportunity. I'm like, okay, that was kind of stupid. Why would we invest in Ronin even though you can just make him go as Rogue instead of Ronin? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Without really going into the character. But yeah, it's gonna be cool.
It's for them toys.
It's for the the sales, and that's where they make their money off their kids. But Hawkeye, just to reiterate, it's coming fall 2021, Disney Plus. So next up is a hot one, Thor: Love and Thunder, and I wanted to pick it up because when I
got the internet all torn apart.
Dude, it's Flash Gordon with the theme, and it's
also
so retro.
What it reminds me of? It reminds me of Thundercats.
Yes,
straight up the thunder. It looks like it's from Thundercats.
And yeah, you just sent me a picture of the logos. Yeah, because it kind of went from bland, typical Thor, the first movie, and then went to oh, this is awesome. It went to a hard rock version of it. But yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder is gonna be written and directed by Taika Waititi. Tessa Thompson's coming back, and she's basically official. She's officially part of the LGBTQ community. Tessa Thompson said she's king of Asgard. She's just looking for a queen, which is really cool. And I think it was in a tasteful way. It kind of felt like she would go that route. But the number one thing that really stood out was that we're gonna have female Thor, and Natalie Portman's returning. So That's huge. And I hear the run for female Thor is amazing, and it solidifies Jane Foster as Thor also. Um, but what I was mentioning is like, don't you like feel the growing presence of female representation
Yeah,
on
definitely.
screen? But like, it feels
Yeah, yeah.
right. Do you know what I mean? It feels
I
right.
agree.
Except, Captain Marvel, I have my gripes with her, like with some things, but these characters feel deserved. And the fact that they got Natalie Portman back, holy crap!
I'm thinking she saw the third one and she was like, "Yo, this movie looks fun.
You,
I think I want to come back."
yeah, it's just like I felt like she was just like after Dark World, she's like whatever. But then it kind of grew into such like it blossomed into something else, and she's like, oh
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
But with Love and Thunder, and there's two Thors, because Thor has Stormbreaker, correct? And
Yeah,
so Cap at the end of Endgame, he came back into our. We don't. Okay, so Cap came back as an old man. There's so many theories about that. So obviously
but the
Mjolnir is
theory is
still there.
he put Mjolnir back so then it would get destroyed again. So it's kind of confusing as to what they're how she's gonna be another like. Are they gonna say Mjolnir again? Like, and that's the
Yeah.
only that's the only thing. My only one of my main concerns about Thor: Love and Thunder is we already tackled him losing Mjolnir, and we already
Yeah.
tackled him thinking he's unworthy. So
Hmm.
if this is based off of the Mighty Thor run, Jason, I think Jason Eric or whatever his name is,
Yeah.
if it's based off that run, that whole run is based off Thor thinking he's unworthy and losing Mjolnir. But we already did both those things. So like, how do you do it
Again.
again and keep it interesting? So and I don't need another dude bro Thor. Like I don't,
Yeah.
Endgame Thor was fun for what it was. I don't need that again. I don't need more of that. The only time I would want it is in Guardians because it matches that humor. But I don't need a Thor solo film with him being that sad, pathetic Thor. Like I don't want that. It's not interesting to me. So I'm a little apprehensive about this film
Well,
because of that reason.
think about it. In retrospect, we already did Unworthy Thor twice. Thor 1 and then Endgame.
Oh
Because he
right,
was pretty much
yeah.
like,
Forgot obviously Thor one.
yeah. And then Endgame because he's like, oh, I'm worthy still. Um, but that's the thing. Are we just gonna reboot the character? Like, you think this is the route they're going? Like, Jane Foster's gonna be the next Thor, and like Chris Hemsworth's gonna put up the hammer, or are we gonna get two simultaneous Thors? Because I'm assuming Thor is gonna keep Stormbreaker and she gets Mjolnir, so we have two Thors. Do you know
So
what
they
I
have to. So then
mean?
we're gonna see them save Mjolnir a second time. Like that's why I'm like, I
But yeah,
don't.
that's the thing. I didn't consider your
Uh,
theory because I don't know what Cap did. Um, because when he came back, I was like, "Where's Mjolnir?" Like, I'm so lost.
he put that shit back. Then that's what I'm saying. It's like okay, so like storytelling wise, he put that shit back because Thor needs it in Dark World. But so like, so then if he didn't put it back, then that's screwing stuff up. Like, what are we doing here?
To be honest, I wasn't on board with female Thor. Um, I at first because I was just like, okay, fine, we're gonna go like the female route, and I still think like Thor has like films in him. Like he's
Yeah.
on a hot streak. Like why are we doing this? But at the same time, I think Taika's gonna respect the property where there can be two Thors in a universe. Because think of it like this: when Odin says like, "Oh, if you're worthy, you'll possess the power of Thor." Let's think of Thor as like a title, like 007. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Even though Thor's name is Thor, but like the actual power and the embodiment is Thor. I think there's gonna be two simultaneously somehow, but I don't know. It's just to
I'm
be honest,
I'm excited for it, but I'm apprehensive about it just because
I'm
for the
apprehensive
reasons
too.
that I said.
Yeah, and I'm just like at first I wasn't sold because I'm like okay. Like this is feel like let's just he's on a hot streak. Let's do this. But like I mean I trust Taika with TD and plus he's writing it and he's directing and he looked like he was coked out. To be honest, at the panel,
He's having a good time, my man.
he's off of life right now. But he's like the coolest director in Hollywood right now. It's kind of funny. Like just off of like a couple properties, he's like the coolest director because he's so eccentric. And you know anything else on Thor? Because I'm gonna hit the part I've been waiting all day.
Just before we hit that, I just noticed, I didn't put two and two like I don't know why as a designer I should put this together, but like every letter in the Loki theme in the
logo is a different letter, is a different font, and like people are saying like the L looks like it's from the Incredible Hulk, the O looks like it could be from like Doctor Strange or something. So maybe he'll be revisiting like the films themselves. That'll be interesting. So I just wanted to point that out.
That's the thing. Like, we don't know what the crossover potential is. Do you know what I mean?
But the L is like basically
It looks like Hulk.
It's basically ripped from the Incredible Hulk logo, and I don't know what the other ones are, but that I just wanted to point that out because that's very interesting.
No, it's a good eye. And let's think about Hulk. He's not getting any property, but obviously, I think he's going to team up with someone. You know.
Oh yeah, damn.
Because we're not getting. Okay, so we're not getting an Avengers movie. Remember that. And Phase 4, where could Hulk show up potentially? Thor.
Either
Doctor
Thor
Strange.
Or
Doctor Strange for like a cameo.
Yeah, I guess.
But I feel like that'd be out of place.
Yeah, I feel like it's mainly Thor. Like, but then they would have said it like with the cast. So you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Okay, so if you think about Thor in Endgame, like his arm hasn't healed up. So after the gauntlet, so I'm assuming he's just kind of on a break. So maybe he's just gonna be Professor Hulk for a bit and just chill.
Yeah. Maybe they'll mention him. Maybe they'll mention him. They'll be like, "Oh, like I just spoke to Professor Hulk about these multiverse." You know what I'm saying? Like I can see him doing that.
Yeah. And then I just realized we're not even getting an Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
For now.
I think it'll be Phase 5.
Yeah, but let's get into Phase 5 because I'm very excited. After I heard this announcement, even though I love the Phase 4, I'm kind of like, fuck Phase 4. Like,
because I want
the Daywalker. And Blade was announced with Mahershala Ali cast as Blade, who looks just like Blade and Wesley Snipes. Because I was watching a clip of Alita Battle Angel, and he has the shades on. I'm like, dude, that's Blade. Like, Blade, to me, is the first Marvel property for anyone. Well, for me personally, but like if we're talking about Hollywood-wise, that's what started it all, and then like Spider-Man. But I grew up with Blade. I watched every movie, and I love 1 and 2. And it's such a close property for me. And the fact that Marvel Studios is being ballsy enough to do Blade, oh my god! Like the logo too, the logo too. I still get chills about it because the logo too is so legit. It's half dark, half white, because it's like night and day. He's the Daywalker, and the way they introduced it, because Mahershala Ali came at the end of the panel, and he had, they were giving out Black Widow hats. And he had his own hat, and he put it on. That's how they revealed it. But do you think it's going to be rated R? Like, I'm curious.
No, I don't think Marvel's ever going to do rated R.
Yeah, that's the part I'm scared about, because they said they're going to continue Deadpool, but it wasn't going to be tied to the MCU. You know what I mean? It kind of sucks, because Blade, you're fitting your role. Mahershala Ali, he's going to do great. He's an Oscar winner. But you have big boots to fill in for Wesley Snipes. And plus, like, the films were very violent and gory. A lot of sex and blood. And it's kind of weird because it's kind of neutering itself. If it's going to be PG-13, do you know what I mean? But, like, yet again, these vampires, when they die, they turn into ash. So, I don't know. I don't want to admit that it's PG-13. Do you know what I mean?
It's okay. Let it.
No, it's too early. It's too early for that. It's just.
But I think I think they can do the film justice and just have a really hard PG-13, like really, I think they can do it.
But that needs to be dark,
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Please don't have the humor. Please don't have the humor. Like.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I mean, come on, dude. Like this is a damn vampire like hunt. Like I want this to be dark, man.
Yeah, no, because the reason I want this to do so well, because it's gonna lift off for obviously the Marvel Knights and the Midnight Suns. So that's like what I wanted to, because you and me love the paranormal, like dark horror, like that's our stuff, that's our niche, and it's like this is the stepping stone. Like Blade's the perfect opportunity. And it's funny because there was a report, articles going around. Kevin Feige was like, "Oh, after Mahershala Ali won his award for Green Book, he straight up called Marvel. Was like, hey, I want to do Blade,' and they're like, okay, here, sign this." And
that's wild.
That's so wild, and it's like top tier quality of an actor, and he could pull it off. Like he has that deep voice, he could act like Blade, and talk like Wesley Snipes. Like I can see it. The only thing I'm like worried is just like it's MCU related. Are they gonna neuter it just by? I know you say hard PG-13, but like I really want them to push the boundaries for PG-13 because Blade's about guns, swords, like steaks. Like it's not A1
blood.
steak sauce, blood, like vampires. Like I just need Blade to like say Frost and just like kill so many vampires. And this was bound to happen because when we were talking while watching the boxing match, my boy Fady brought up some good points. You brought up some good points, and I watched some videos. And I'm like, wow, they're right. So in the comic iteration of Blade versus Wolverine, Blade's been getting a lot of attention. So this is kind of like a trend.
You forgot he joined the Avengers in there most recently.
Yes. So yeah, what you said, just to build off, Blade is in the Avengers and he's helping Ghost Rider because Ghost Rider can't he can't control the Ghost Rider anymore. So he goes to Blade for help. And you guys can do this. Like if you're a comic book reader, you hear a lot of stuff. Like if there's a character getting a lot of focus, getting like a reinvigoration, it's kind of a hint that he or she might get likely going to show up in the MCU. So like,
yeah,
I was saying this, like this is my other theory. Fantastic Four. Mr. Fantastic looks just like John Krasinski right now. And that's what everyone's talking about John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic. I think John Krasinski's going to be in there because if it's like
I'm game for that. I'm fine.
I'm cool with it too. I do want him to be a little older, but whatever. Because when I think of Reed Richards, I think like a 40-year-old man.
Yeah, but if they're going to be the face that carries on the legacy
Exactly.
of Iron Man, you need somebody on the younger side.
And you need to show respect to the first Marvel family.
Yeah.
So, I to go back to Blade, yeah, just look out for the comics because there's a trend that comes back, and they really do hint in their comic properties like, oh, this could be MCU related or there's something coming up. But the fact that it's Blade is just it's opening up a new window because we already had Doctor Strange doing magic. Now it's just dark themes. But like Keanu, like what are your since Blade's an MCU, I really want to see Blade interact with Spider-Man for like a post-credit scene. Like, what crossover do you want? Because I want him to do that and just be like, just a small scene, like in the end, and Spider-Man's swinging at night, and he runs into Blade, and they're just having a banter. That would be perfect. Or if they had that in the trailer for like a brief moment in the film, I'd freak out. I'd literally freak out. Like I get chills. But you got.
So both of the ones I want, even after all this, actually don't seem that very likely.
Mm-hmm.
Morbius would be really cool considering their history, but that Sony's making their Jared Leto version, so that seems like it's a no-go. And then second, Ghost Rider, but Ghost Rider is going to be Marvel TV Studios, so you might as well basically assume it's not even like connected at this point. So that's kind of a letdown because I think it'd be really cool to see Robbie Reyes. We have Robbie Reyes, we have this great actor playing Robbie Reyes, and we're not going to be able to. We probably won't be able to see that interaction between the two.
Mm-hmm. I personally think that like the best way to grab people that it's MCU related because how they use Iron Man for Spider-Man. I feel like Spider-Man would be the best because one, they're both street level characters and they've interacted with each other in the comics before and the animated series, and just make it brief. Do you know what I mean? Because they're both New Yorkers.
Yeah.
They could easily do that and just make it like Spider-Man swinging at night and he's at a rooftop and he runs into Blade, and that could just be like the ending scene of the movie. And you don't even need Tom Holland. You just need his voice. It's just him, like, costume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Tom Holland can be like, oh, yeah, like, I'm just running away from the cops because my identity is revealed. And Blade's probably like, huh. Like, that's it. Do you know what I mean?
I can't get over the fact that, like, Marsha Ali went in and he was like, yo. Like, he called him. Like, he has so much, like, sway now that, he's a big name.
Yep.
Like, he called them. And Feige was like, all right, well, I mean, obviously I'm going to answer and you can come in whenever. They met and he just was like, so listen, Blade. And Kevin Feige was like, whatever you want, here you go. Like, that's so funny. That's crazy. Like, and thank you to freaking Marshala Ali, like, cause he's made it happen.
Yeah, Feige pretty much became his bitch.
He
But
was
I
like,
love
yes,
it.
sir. Yes,
He's
sir.
like,
Absolutely,
yes,
sir.
I want to do Blade. Here, sign this. Like, it's amazing. And it's funny because Mahershala Ali's Cottonmouth, and now he's just expanding it within the Marvel property,
Oh gosh,
which is
yeah, like
crazy. Which is crazy. I like it.
I like it, but that also just kind of puts the nail in the coffin for MCU Netflix connections,
Yeah,
which isn't a
it's sad.
huge loss, except for the fact that Daredevil was fantastic, and
It is
um,
because I do want to see Daredevil interact with Spider-Man.
yeah, man.
That
Oh
would be
gosh,
iconic. Like all the street level characters, I think if they interact with each other, it'd be great. But Mahershala Ali, like it's so great. Like I don't know what they're gonna do. Do they involve Dracula or do they just start something new because they don't want to get tied to Blade 3? Do you know what I mean? Like
nah, do it, do Dracula, do it.
yeah, that would be so good. Like old school Castlevania Dracula, and he's like in modern day, not like the stupid. I don't like Blade 3, like how they did Dracula. I really don't like it.
I haven't
Um,
seen it forever,
See,
forever.
it's not worth it. It took a step down from 2. I'm just like,
Oh,
okay.
definitely, yeah, no, definitely, yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds was funny, but it's just like, all right, let's move on. Blade, not announced, but remember, guys, this is gonna be Phase 5. I hope it starts Phase 5. Do you know what I mean? That'd be such
I
a
agree.
high key point. If we're gonna move on though, like Fantastic Four and Mutants were both mentioned, and the sequels to Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy. I think let's dedicate this phase to the new heads, and let's have an Avengers movie
We should have had
in
Ant. I
Phase
think they
5.
should have squeezed an Ant-Man 3 in there. I think they should have. I think it would have
See,
made sense.
See, that's why I pulled out the Fox Disney release schedule because I was like, okay, so I want to see if they could fit in some other films because they have the release schedule official. What if they didn't? They mentioned. What if there's a open date that they didn't mention on this schedule? Do you know what I mean
Right.
for like secret
Yeah, yeah.
surprises? But everything matches up except until 2020, which is Phase 4 is over by then. So 2020, it's just you have for 2022, you have 218. 5 May 6th. I don't know why I'm saying the numbers because I wrote it out like that. February 18th, May 6th, and July 29th.
Which is
for
basically
2022.
you could probably just assume is Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, and Guardians 3.
See,
Like
I
you
don't want
basically
to.
just.
I don't want to see them first. I want to see Blade.
I don't even really need them. Like, can we just get Blade?
Yeah, can we? I don't know. This is what I wanted to talk about all day was Blade, and I just want them to start off with Blade, get into the Fantastic Four, then get into X-Men, and then let's catch up with Captain Marvel, and let's lead into an Avengers film.
with Blade. With Blade.
With Blade in it, yes.
Dude, imagine Avengers film with Blade, Spider-Man,
Oh my
Shang
god,
Chi, Thor,
that
Falcon,
would be
Winter
so
Soldier.
unprecedented. Like, not just because Blade's in Avengers in the comics, but Shang Chi. Like that'd be such a different Avengers lineup, but I would love it. Do you know what I mean? I'd
Yeah,
be excited.
absolutely.
But like, what would so let's have a little fun. Like, what would you have as a villain with Blade involved? Like, because so I got Ultimate Alliance 3, and you're gonna be playing it tomorrow. The story for
free.
Ultimate for free, because shout out Amazon.
For messing
Ultimate
up.
Ultimate Alliance 3, dude, the story is amazing. Like that's what's keeping me playing. So it goes through like the Xavier Academy. It goes into the dark dimension. So it's like it feels normal why Ghost Rider's there. And it kind of set the tone for me to like, oh, if they did an Avengers movie where it involved the Shadowland, the Kingpin, it involved a Kree ship, it involved the dark dimension, it involved all these different locations, so it felt natural for Blade to be in it. I'd be so for that. You know what I mean? But I don't know who would be the main bad to involve Blade. But maybe they can just throw him in and no matter what, he's in it. You know what I mean? But I want it to kind of feel natural. Like, the Avengers are like, oh, we need to like our like Doctor Strange is like, oh, my specialty isn't this. We should call up, Daywalker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's give him a reason. Like, I don't know who else would be. Like, what, Dormammu summons, like, all this, and he's the villain of Avengers? That'd be cool.
Damn, that'd be cool.
If it was
Damn,
like a
did you just
dark...
write it? I think you just wrote it.
Yep. Kevin Feige, listen to me. Dark Avengers. Well, our own interpretation of Dark Avengers, where Dormammu is the main villain, and he's manipulating reality, and we have to get Blade, and that would be a fresh take. What are your thoughts though? Like, what would you want? Would you want Kang? Like, just to make up something
for Avengers 5?
Yeah, for Avengers 5, but like consider Blade. Like, what would he be? Like, how would he be involved? And like, what villain would you want to be the head?
Okay. Avengers 5.
It's tough, man. Or they could.
What was the one? What was the one you just said? I feel like you said one, and I agree.
I said Dormammu, technically.
Yeah, I think that would work because he's like that in that like supernatural like mystic element. So like he could bring he in crossing over he could like freaking bring the dead alive or something. I don't know. He could just do something super like so occult mystical that honestly like I want what you just said. Like it was perfect.
Yeah.
Like Doctor Strange goes, oh, I need to call an expert, and then like Blade is like, what y'all want?
Yo. Oh my god. Can you imagine that in Avengers headquarters and then all of a sudden like we need a specialist on this and it's Blade? Do you understand like how people would react?
Yes, because I'm flipping
what
out.
the hell is this place? Like all attitude and stuff. Like
I have vampires to kill. What do you want?
Yeah, like I gotta go to bed because it's like 7 a.m. here and I gotta kill vampires at night. Like you need to rush this. I don't know. I pray, now that I mentioned it, I really pray that they do like a Dark Avengers type of vibe because that would be so different from Thanos. And then it preserves Galactus and stuff. But it's kind of hard because like how do you get the Fantastic Four and X-Men involved? Do you know what I mean?
You get them involved for Avengers 6 with Galactus.
Yeah, I just don't want to wait though.
We're going to have to.
I know. Any final thoughts, man? I think I'm going to wrap up this episode. Phase 4.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Good. We're excited. It was great. I want Blade.
Yeah, I think that's what sold me the most because honestly, Blade's just such a close character to my heart. He's definitely like my top 5. He's definitely top 5. Yeah, I don't know what to expect, but I trust in Kevin Feige. Like he said, PG-13, but a hard PG-13. Phase 4 looks awesome. But guys, thank you again for tuning into the mashup. Remember, this is part 1. We're going to focus on Phase 4 of the Marvel lineup. Part 2 is coming out Wednesday. We're going to talk about a number of things from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. being canceled, Jay and Silent Bob, the trailer, It Chapter 2 trailer, Westworld.
I mean, is it canceled? I think it's just ending.
We'll see.
It's a natural ending.
Yeah, and national ending. This is final season. Watchmen, Top Gun, The Witcher, Terminator, Ultimate Alliance, DLC, Halloween Kills 2020 and Halloween Ends. But yeah, guys, remember to tune in to us at Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Spotify and Stitcher, and we're also on YouTube. But it's also on audio. But be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and hit the bell so you can get a notification for our recent posts. But any final words, Keanu?
We're still excited for Marvel.
I know. I'm still on a body high. But guys, it's been a great weekend. Manny Pacquiao won. I thought I was kind of scared.
That was a good fight, man. That was a good fight.
It was a very slim fight. And, San Diego Comic-Con, which is like the holiday for all us nerds, it was great. And it paid off. And pretty much, guys, don't forget to rate us on Apple Podcasts, most importantly. Like, it really helps with your feedback. And we're growing every week. And I'm loving it. And I'm glad, like, where this podcast is. And this is just a passion for us. So, Remember, episodes every Monday if we do it on time. Usually every Monday, but we'll try to be on time. I'll stop playing Switch and I'll be on time. And no one blame Keanu. It's my fault. But love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on Wednesday.